I wanted to wish a happy Father's Day to any of you fathers who, unlike was ever the case with my joke farce of a father, farce of a so-called father, actually loved and cared for, or still do, and support your kids, etc. To qualify that, that was never the case with my joke of a father regarding me, not regarding his adopted black son, who they're still buddies to this day, as far as I know. He didn't live with us, mind you, but, back when I was, doesn't matter, you don't know that story, and when my dad's like, he didn't do anything that I say he did, and just ask Michael. Michael didn't live with us, Dad. I don't care. Nobody on this planet's gonna tell me my life didn't happen the way I know for certain it did. See? Especially your adopted black son, who didn't even live with us. Of course he's gonna say you didn't do the things that I know you did. Anyway, I know that there are a lot of good fathers out there. There may very well be some good, decent fathers who watch my videos. So, to any of you, I say Happy Father's Day. I kept my word that I had made to Joe and to myself. Didn't leave a single message for any of the so-called professionals. My mother's blood's on their hands now. I'm moving out. Oh, on their hands and on Auntie's hands, of course. Joe views Auntie as more mentally ill than my mom. He said it. He said it. I'm in the twilight. I sit here and express, I have texts from Auntie saying, I'm upsetting my mom. Yeah, because in your view, it's okay to allow these so-called doctors to kill my mother slowly. But it's not okay to be concerned and express concern to my mother because it will upset my mother. And of course it did. Well, I'm moving out, that's it. I had old texts from Auntie about that. Nobody's concerned. They're sending her back to that hospital. And when I got all upset, I'm talking to my mom, so to any of these ignoramuses, my mom's in the hospital right now, so we don't want to upset her. Yeah, so I'm just supposed to coddle her. And I'm supposed to, oh, really? You're going back into that same hospital where they're slowly killing you. Well, that's okay. Because the sooner you die, the sooner I'll get everything, Mom. Fuck it all. I'm moving out. Most people in this world who view themselves as totally sane are really the insane ones. My creative writing teacher was supposed to write a story or a book about that exact theme. And my creative writing teacher when I was in high school, 16, 17, whatever. How it's the sane people who are the ones locked up and the insane ones are not. Now, obviously, that's not entirely true in all cases, but again, books can, can play on things, and not, you don't take stories or whatever, you don't always take them completely literal. But Auntie's viewed as the sane one, and some of the things she says to me are just absolutely insane. I have texts from her, "You're upsetting your mother." I'm not pointing all this out to my mom, I'm pointing it out to you. And B, better that my mom be a little upset than dead, you fucking cunt, I mean, or a vegetable or whatever. Like I said, there's a reason my creative writing teacher wanted to write a story like that and told me about her idea. I remember when she told me that she knew nothing about me, my mom's history of, developing chronic schizophrenia, having her first breakdown when I was 10, okay? My career mate, she didn't know anything about that. She liked me. I still have all my poems, whatever. They're telling me how well I write and this, that, or whatever. My college professor of creative writing wanted me to major in that instead of, just in regular English. And I did graduate cum laude. And I didn't cheat in college like so many people do. And I busted my ass to get the grades that I did. And I do not care what any of my enemies think to the contrary. I could have made it a lot longer. Comcast allows it, not like your cell phone that allows like seconds. The cell phone allows you like nothing. This allows 2 full minutes for a greeting. The greeting that's on there is completely calm, monotone. Sums it up in less than 2 minutes. In the interest of self-preservation, I'm moving out of my mother's home. I have absolutely nothing to say to any of you so-called professionals who are choosing to send my mother back into the lion's den. What more do the doctors and staff in that low-class hospital have to do to my poor, confused, elderly mother before somebody with power takes a stand and says enough is enough? If my mother miraculously makes it out of all this alive, I will talk to her then. For now, her blood is on your hands. And I'm not going to have her any longer crying to me every single day when I'm powerless to do anything to help her. If I had the strength to do so, I would find a good lawyer, sue all of you, and probably win. And it's not going to matter to me if Joe says you shouldn't leave that on the voicemail. I don't care. I don't have to listen to every fucking thing Joe says. This sums everything up perfectly. And it doesn't go off on a tangent. And it doesn't say anything about my aunt. Anybody who calls is going to hear that. Will I listen to messages? Maybe if I drink first or something. I still have 2 texts to read from Auntie that day. I'm sure they're just even worse than the prior texts. Previous texts I'd received from her. Vicious, threatening, threatening to not be a part of my life. Like that's just the worst thing imaginable to me, I'm trying to, this is unbelievable to me. only fucking thing I'm guilty of is expressing genuine concern, legitimate concern for my mom, and not wanting her back in that hospital. And I was right. I was right. And she's just so foolish. She believes them. She knows the history. They tell you you're getting out, and they don't let you out. It's just what they do. When am I getting out? And then she'd be crying to me, back in this hospital, I'm not doing it anymore. But they said I was getting out, Laura, and now they're committing me, or now they're putting me on this, or I don't feel any number of things. You're choosing it. You have your opportunity right now when you are out of there to beg them, you know, don't send me back there. And instead you're doing the exact opposite and telling me you want to be in there, as opposed to being somewhere else. If you can't be home, you want to be in that mental hospital, well, that's good, Mom. You do that, and if you get out alive miraculously, I will talk to you then. I'm not, you have to understand, people, I'm not saying I'm not going to be a part of my mom's life. I'm not even angry. I'm helpless, and I'm disgusted with this whole thing. And I'm not going to talk to anybody that's a part of that world. Understand? I'm not going to do it. There are people that I haven't even talked to yet who are supposed to call Monday, and that's the message they'll get. Because I know without talking to them, they're all a part of it, and they are just going to go along with it the same as Auntie is. And, you know, I don't have to listen to my mom cry to me every day when I'm powerless to help her. And when she had the opportunity to help herself, she chose to return to the lion's den. Because believe me, under these circumstances, when I've called it to their attention, this new hospital who doesn't know me or my mom from Adam, when I've called it to their attention, what's been going on, okay? So they know it's not just my mom, crazy woman, babbling untruths. They know what's going on via me. Believe me, if my mom was crying and begging the social workers in there to not, and the doctors to not send her back to this hospital and saying that, you know, look what's happened to me, don't send me back there. I already had the lithium. Believe me, they would listen. It's not her only option. She's choosing this. I'm not having her go back in there and calling me again every fucking day with every fucking thing that low-class hospital and its staff and its doctors are doing to her. And I'm not even going to give a chance to any Department of Mental Health people or whatnot to try to turn it all around or whatever, you know. Lord only knows what Auntie says to them. I'm the one that cares. Auntie doesn't give a shit. And my former friend Trouble saw that from day one and never wavered in her opinion of Auntie, even when I was playing devil's advocate and saying, well, Auntie gave this excuse and that excuse for why this and why that. Trouble did not care. She did not waver. And I have hundreds of messages, emails from her saved in that folder that prove what I say is the truth. I'm guilty of nothing. Nothing. Only insane people would say I'm guilty of anything. You're sending my mom back into this. I mean, what more has to happen to her at the hands of this low-class hospital, its doctors and its staff? You know, what more has to happen? I mean, and when Joe and I talk and he says, he pretends that he's talking to Auntie, what he'd like to say, and he'll say, you need to say this, that, and to her face, blah, 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 whatever. So I wrote to him, small favor, can you please, I wrote to him, small favor, type to me exactly what you would say to Auntie's fucking face if you were me, and this is what Joe said. I would say that she's behaved as your adversary, rather than your partner, and looking out for your mom's best interest. She's ignorant of the medical and psychiatric professions and how they're in bed with the pharmaceutical giants. She's naive of how modern treatment is at its root profit-driven, and many doctors have abandoned the tenets of the Hippocratic to first do no harm. In abrogating, I actually looked that word up. I think I know what it means, but I'm sure really, I don't know. Let's see what it means. I was wondering what it means when Joe sent this. That's why I like the Google. Abrogating. It's unbelievable to me. Repeal or do away with a law, right, or formal agreement. Yeah. Okay. In abrogating the responsibility she intentionally bullied you and your mother to acquire, she is ultimately responsible for what's happening to you, Mom. She is also a liar, promoting the idea that you're harming your mom by caring for her, being concerned for her, and scolding her when she does things that could harm herself. And it says to me, it's like, you're upsetting your mom. Yeah, it's better that she be a vegetable or dead than that I upset her with the truth, or with my genuine, legitimate concerns that they came to be, didn't they? I see exactly what this hospital's being, and she's so naive. Well, they took me off the neuron completely. Mom, it doesn't matter. Whatever they fucking took you off in this regular hospital is not going to matter once you are in the hands. Just like what your nurse practitioner wanted you on didn't matter once you were in the hands of the nut house doctors. They want to do what they want to do. They're all fucking arrogant pricks. Of course they're going to take you off. They don't even know why you got the infection. I do. And now she's on antibiotics. You have to understand those really destroy your immune system. So she's on these antibiotics, which they put them on for 3 fucking weeks. You know that they do. So she's going to be back in the fucking hospital, drugged to kingdom come with a shot down immune system on antibiotics, and it's not going to be pretty. I can tell you that much it isn't, and I'm not going to sit here and hear again that she's in the fucking hospital, and this time it's worse. I'm not going to sit here again and have her crying to me every fucking day about her mistreatment at the hands of those doctors and that staff. I'm not doing it. In abrogating the responsibility she intentionally bullied you and your mother to acquire, she is ultimately responsible for what is happening to your mother. She is also a liar in promoting the idea that you're harming your mother by caring for her, being concerned for her, and scolding her when she does things that could harm herself. She behaves more like a petulant teenager than a mature woman, and that is nothing to be proud of. Send her these links that I found in 5 minutes of searching. Just think she's not going to care, Joe. She's not going to fucking care. In bed with Big Pharma, psychiatrists should reevaluate their relationship with the pharmaceutical industry. Request your free copy of the DVD Psychiatry and Industry of Death. Psychiatric MDs dispense dangerous drugs with impunity, all for profit. I complained that she's all drugged up. Her friend met her in person and complained to me. My mom couldn't keep her eyes open. Joe called my mom and she's like, your mom is so fucking out of it. This was all on the weekend. That fucking arrogant motherfucking doctor in that low-class hospital that I 100% believe is going to slowly kill my mother, or at least turn her into a vegetable or something, said to my mom, because I have a message from her crying, or she said it to me on one of her numerous phone calls to me, daily phone calls. Okay. My doctor says I'm not doing well, and he's going to increase my medication. That's their solution. to my mom's all drugged up, but she's not doing well, being all drugged up to high heavens, going to increase it. Within 4 days after him increasing her gabapentin from 300 to 1,200 a day, but he reduced the Haldol, because remember, it's just a guessing game. You're now, when you're younger, it's not as bad. It can still be bad, it just depends. This is a 70-year-old woman. I'm not going to have her calling me. Remember, she calls Auntie and Auntie hangs up. Auntie's totally, just like Joe said, totally on board with all of this shit. So are people that I thought would help me find a real advocate for my mom, and I was wrong. I even had to hear from them, well, if it's working, then, if everything's working for, they don't get it. They don't get it. She's 70 years old. Her immune system is shot to hell. She gets flu shots every time, every year, and she's been on how many? This won't be the first time she was on a thing of antibiotics. When she had the tick on her stomach, she was on antibiotics. Every time you're on antibiotics, it destroys your immune system. I mean, obviously it doesn't destroy it completely. You know what I mean? It's not good for your immune system. And they're overprescribing antibiotics, doctors and vets, and that's why we're getting these superbugs. This is just, that's exactly what they predicted, the superbug that's resistant to all antibiotics, You overuse them, vets do it, doctors do it, and now it's going to bite them in the ass, just like knowledgeable people predicted would be the case. Being drugged to high heavens and on a course of antibiotics is just a recipe for disaster. All hospitals are not this bad, people. I'm sickened. It's not our only option. Just because our options are limited, it's not our only option. She believes them. She actually believes them and cries to me. It's happened before. Well, they said I was going to get out. She told Selena, and Selena believed it. I said, my mom is not getting out Monday. This is prior to my mom winding up in the ER. But she's not getting out Monday. And then she'll say to me, but they told me, Laura, they can tell you anything. To them, you're a guinea pig. You're a crazy person locked up in their hospital. You know from past experience, they tell you you're getting out, and you're not getting out. They tell you they always do that. I want you to understand they always do that to these patients. When am I getting out? And they'll say like, oh, next week or whatever, or her doctor said some bullshit. When you can sleep 7 nights straight through the night, then she's not getting out. It has nothing to do with me either. Okay, she's not getting out. This happened with they're just going to start all over again. Okay. The doctor in there took her at half. There's like, he doesn't know. She has this infection, and her system is overloaded with all these medications. That's what it is. But his idea, and it's a psychiatric doctor, going to take her off the neuron. I'm going to cut her Zyprexa in half. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Put her back in the lion's den. And then the leader of the lion's den, which is those arrogant psychiatric doctors, are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. It won't even surprise me if under that supervised care they put her back on lithium with Auntie's blessing. Won't surprise me one bit. One bit. Told you what her old doctor was saying, her former doctor.